These fish bite. But not like regular fish that bite, but undead zombie fish that bite. Hey Twisted people, it's your Twisted Woman here, Chauncey K. Robinson, and today I am doing a review of the horror film Aquarium of the Dead. But before we jump into the review, let me know in the comment section what are some of your favorite B-horror movies where the animals take center stage. I am very curious to know. In Aquarium of the Dead, a scientific accident causes sea creatures in an aquarium to become zombies. Aquarium of the Dead is filled with B-movie horror goodies, including its semi-outrageous plot and some quality moments of humor. It does lag a bit at times, but overall, it's a cool twist on the zombie horror film. I honestly thought this was a very cool plot. I'm not going to call it unique necessarily because I have seen zombie sharks, zombie crocs, zombievers. Oh my gosh, one of my faves. So this isn't necessarily new, but usually the ones I've seen when it comes to an animal being of the undead, it's usually like a small town or an island or a beach somewhere. I think this is the first time where I have seen it so that the whole aquarium, so it's all types of zombie sea creatures. And I did think that was a pretty cool twist to it because usually there's like one particular kind of zombie animal. And in this one, they made it so all the animals in the aquarium could potentially be zombies. We're talking zombie flipper and flounder. Interestingly enough, I thought this movie actually had some good characters in it, which I wasn't necessarily expecting because sometimes with movies with this kind of concept, the characters sort of take a very long backseat to the actual concept. But I will say that the characters in this really came off like a staff of people working in the aquarium who were concerned. Some were concerned about the animals. Some were politicians and things like that. No one was exactly a caricature, which can sometimes happen, right? Where they just become kind of a symbolic thing of the jerk that you obviously are supposed to dislike and the girl you're not supposed to dislike and things like that, saying it just like that. So it was nice that these could be seen as actual people. The other thing that I enjoyed about this film is that it didn't use sexual situations and the very obvious objectification of women in concept movies like this, which tends to be a crutch for movies of this nature sometimes, where it's like, this could be a movie where, maybe the plot isn't all that great or something like that. So to distract you, we're just going to show tatas the whole time. Oh yeah, are you really caring about the lack of plot here? No, because you like the tatas or whatever. Yes, let's call them tatas for the moment. But you get what I'm saying? Where sometimes that can be a crutch for movies like that, which I think it can play into it where it makes sense and it works. And sometimes it's just very obviously a way to distract you that it's not a good script or anything like that. And I appreciated that this film didn't need to use that as a crutch to distract or anything like that, because the dialogue was actually solid. The characters were actually solid. Now, although this movie may be like a play off of Army of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead and insert this of the Dead, which had a tendency to be way bigger budget kind of films, I think it's kind of obvious that this wasn't necessarily. And because of that, what you get with some of the animals is you get CGI. You don't get necessarily, CGI that looks real, and you don't get practical effects of the animals that look real. So I think I want to forewarn those who watch it expecting that, because you're not going to get that necessarily. But I think this movie did something very smart, which was the Jaws method when it comes to the actual animal monsters, which is just like one of my favorite movies of all time, Jaws, didn't necessarily show the shark the whole time, not even that often. What it was is that the movie played on the anticipation and the aftermath of what happened. And I do think in the realm of where it could, this film, Aquarium of the Dead, does that as well. You have a majority of this movie where you are watching the characters, run around trying to figure out how to get out, how to figure out what's happening, anticipating something happening, the aftermath of already having been attacked. And then you get glimpses of the monsters here and there. But I think it actually did a really good thing of not having the monsters so focused on the whole entire time, because I do think that would have made it so viewers would be distracted by the fact that it wasn't necessarily, the most realistic looking animals when it came to them attacking and things like that. Vivica A. Fox fans will also enjoy this film if you like seeing her appear. She plays somewhat of a smaller role, but it is a pivotal role in the film. And if you're a fan of hers, if I'm a fan of someone, I'm always going to be excited when I see them on screen. Now, I did feel like this film lagged in some moments. It's an hour and about 30 minutes long, but it felt longer in some moments. And when the action was happening and things were occurring, it didn't feel as long. But when there was a lot of waiting going on, or, characters kind of standing there trying to figure things out, it didn't always land as well. And there were times when I felt like this film felt longer than it was. I was also pleasantly surprised to see that this film has some heart in it. As an animal lover, I was a little worried about watching a film where I might be watching animals get hacked and things like that constantly, even if they're undead, because I'm a sensitive soul when it comes to animals. But that was not the case. And that might have actually been because of the fact that some of the animals were CGI. So I didn't feel that much of a connection. Is this movie scary? I wouldn't call it scary. I would call it has a lot of humor in it. It doesn't descend into slapstick necessarily. And I actually like that too, because there are moments when it does take itself seriously with the things that are happening and the stakes of what is going on. And then within that, there's humorous moments. And so I like that balance that it had. But because of that, it's not necessarily something that's going to make you jump or anything like that. It's a cool concept. If you are someone who enjoys B-movie horror like this, such as Zombiever and Zombie Croc and Zombie Shark and things like that, then this would be, I think, a nice addition to that collection. My final twisted grade for Aquarium of the Dead is a B. If you haven't already, let me know in the comment section, what are some of your fave B-movie horror films where the animal takes center stage? Let me know, comment down below, and also be sure to subscribe so that you are the first to know when I post my videos. Thanks for watching.